Hello, my name is Russell Lookado, President and Chief Strategist for H Architecture. I am the HR guy for small business. My firm exists so that small business owners can achieve their dreams through effective use of their teams. What I want to talk about today is what we're calling the Great Resignation. We experienced the Great Recession in 2009, and now we're experiencing the Great Recovery after the pandemic as we emerge from that. I've been in human resources for nearly 40 years, and I don't think I've ever seen this tight of a labor market. Resignations are at an all-time high. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported 9.3 million resignations in April, a record since these type of things began to be measured. Nationally, the unemployment rate, down from a peak of 14.8%, is at 5.8 compared to only 3.5 before the pandemic. These numbers are coming down every month as businesses reopen. There's a tremendous surge in demand for employees as businesses do reopen, coupled with a significant lack of supply. That lack existed before the pandemic when unemployment was at 3.5 and even under 3 in many states. But now that there's a sudden surge of hiring, this shortage is critical. Fast Company reported in a recent edition that 59% of middle-income workers, that defined as 50,000 to 75,000, are actively looking for a new job. 44% of those who are actively looking are beginning to make plans to switch jobs. The supply for new employees is down for 4 basic reasons. Number one is fear. A lot of people are a little bit concerned about coming back to work and being exposed to the COVID risk. It is important that you follow your injury and illness prevention plan or safety plan to make sure that your employees know that you have protocols in place to keep them safe. Secondly, uncertainty. Employees are wondering if they go back to work, are their jobs just going to get shut down again? They share that anxiety with the business owners who have so far been hesitant to rehire people and bring them back to work. But now the demand for services and goods has skyrocketed. They need to bring these people back. Finally, there's angst. Now, this is a soft thing that's kind of hard to describe, but people have what they call Monday morning angst every Sunday night. Do I really want to get up and go back to this job? Well, multiply that times 15 months of a different style of work, working at home, working remotely, working flexibly. This angst is now palatable. People have it. Do I have to return to work? What does that mean? That's related closely to the work-life balance issues. People have grown accustomed to and adapted to this work from home environment, managing family, managing friends, managing your work while working at home without the commute and other items like that. It's created a new work-life balance. The genie's out of the bottle and it's not going back in. Finally, there's the pool of supplemental unemployment benefits and other government programs to try to keep people living indoors and eating during the pandemic. Well, those benefits are about to end. So those 4 causes, pandemic related, are going away soon, but not right now. I advise my clients that there's a false dichotomy of voluntary and involuntary turnover. Frankly, there's only one cause of involuntary turnover, and that's death. Short of death, any other reason for leaving you is something that you can overcome. So how do my clients plan to deal with the Great Resignation wave? Well, I have 4 strategic P's. First off, they need to focus on the purpose. The purpose is why your business exists. What good does it do? People want to belong to an organization they believe in, that they want to work for, and they know does some good. So while it's important to have a why statement or vision statement and a value statement, all those things are just meaningless words tacked on the wall unless you walk the talk. Some ways you can do that is have pictures of your clients, have pictures of your customers right in the workplace, right near those words. Show pictures of when you've done team building activities, community service projects. Post pictures of the impact of your work. If you're in the construction, architecture, engineering community, Go on site visits to look on the projects that your drafters and engineers and architects have been working on. They will develop pride in the work they do and the reason you do it. Another thing you can do is actually have a customer come speak to your employees, videotape it or have them live, so that they see what it means for their work and the impact it does and how they improve lives. Secondly, the second P is people. Now, people don't quit jobs for money. They want to work in a healthy, productive, supportive environment. Leaders must demonstrate strong emotional intelligence during these times with all these uncertainties and fears and angst. Emotional intelligence can be increased. You may not have it, but we can measure it, we can coach it, and we can improve how well you adapt to the feelings and emotions of other people. Again, people don't quit their job for money, they quit their boss. They also quit hostile or bullying work environments. You cannot tolerate any of that in your workplace and expect people to want to come there. The third P is place. Now, this goes back to the alternative work arrangements, work from home, work in a distant location. 68% of workers have been surveyed as saying they want to maintain some flexibility of where they work. On the other hand, 70% of business leaders want people back in the office. Every day you see news from Google to banking to other firms that say, okay, let's bring people back. I don't trust them. I don't know what they're doing. We have to get past that. Like I said earlier, the genie is out of the bottle. We need to focus on what the employee does, not where they do it. Now, of course, there are jobs such as hospitality, restaurants, hotels, some healthcare, retail, and functions like receptionists that simply can't be accommodated in a remote work situation. So you need to ask yourself again, why do I want them back? Why do I force them to do something when they've been perfectly productive? Now, if they're not productive, let's talk about performance management and not whether or not where they're working. Finally, praise. Next to last is praise. People need to feel like you generally appreciate what they do. Praise should be meaningful, specific, and spontaneous, along with being timely. So praise employees in a meaningful, mindful way, and they will want to continue to do work. Everybody's motivated by different things, but almost everyone is motivated by a sense of being appreciated. Finally, the one that we like to blame everything on is pay. Well, again, people don't leave for money. They get more money when they leave. Bosses need to be very aware of what the market is doing, and they don't exploit people or underpay people, because when they find out, the damage is done. And there's very little way you can get that back. So periodic audits of your pay practices versus the market, what's going on, what's the hiring rates. You need to pay people well, or they will feel underappreciated regardless of what you say, regardless of the purpose of the job, regardless of the people they're working with. It is a satisfier, not a motivator. And if people are dissatisfied with any aspect of their work, including pay, they're likely susceptible to getting calls from headhunters or taking calls from headhunters. Well, what about those supplemental unemployment benefits that we hear a lot of chatter in the press that's blaming the reason people aren't returning to work? Studies show that if you make less than about 16 and a quarter an hour, $34,000 a year, those unemployment benefits are tempting to stay home. They're just as good off as they were if they were working for $16 an hour. So you need to make sure that you're paying what the job is worth. Those supplemental employee benefits are gone in some locations, and they'll be all gone by Labor Day. So that excuse, not a reason, will go away. There's no greater challenge facing current business leaders as the Great Resignation. Keeping employees, good employees, is a lot easier than finding and training them. The cost of turnover can be up to 50% or more of the employee's annual pay. Employing other people is a sign of success. However, if you want to be successful, you need to ensure that your good people stay. As the HR guy, I am available and ready to work with you to navigate this great recession and strategize on how to retain your good employees so that you can achieve your dreams for you and your business. Have a great day.